So the Kudra here is that Chassidus is the Amshocha of P'chines Yechida. Yechida calls a Shtalshalis. Then if I get the Nefesh Adam, so the Yechida is not just the Chamisha Hashem is Nikrola, but Yechida is not just another target. Yechida is the Etzem. All the other Madrigas are the Keches Pratim, Inyanim Pratim, which the Nefesh contains. Then there's the Mahus HaNeshama, which is P'chines Yechida, and the Darga and the Mahus is not just the Agdar of the Etzem is not just that he's the Klal for all the Keches Charnim Shafamid, but the Etzem is a Mahus which is higher than the whole category of the Pratim. It's Mufshet the Gamri from Geder Prat, L'mayla mi Geder Prat, the whole category of Pratim. That's the Taish Yechidi. Yechidi means that it's its own singular Madrega. There's no Erech, there's no Yachas between the P'chines Yechida to the Dargas which are Nimshach from it. So it's and that's the Mevayer that when Yechida is mitzad is Gila of Yechida, so it's not that since Yechida is not defined, it's a Mahusa Pshitis, it's not defined by any Prat and by any Tzir, so therefore the Yechida is Bligvol. There's no Hagbolis, sign Kamas and sign Echos. There's no limit in what type of Echos, what type of Shleimus the Yechida is. And with Shas, there's this Galas of Yechida, so everything, not that you don't negate the Pratim. But Shas, the Yechida is Misgala, so all the Pratim also are B'Shleimus. Yeah, we'll see more that's better in the Hemshech Advarim. Let's see Siv Zayin. So Gam B'Tam Zeh, in other words, we want to bring out 2 points here. We want to bring out, on one hand, the Etzem is Mufshet Legamri from any Shaykhas to the Prat. You see, the Chaya and the Nevesh Ruach and Neshama are all Inanim Pratim, Inanim of Vul, Inanim of Tzir. Not necessarily Inanim of B'chin of Chaya is Ratzin Shalmalim Etamadas, but it's a certain Tzir, an Inin of Pshitis, an Inin of Bligvul, an Inin of higher than Mitzias. Mashek in Yechida is an Inin which has no definition at all. The Etzem Mahusa Inin, without any form, without any how the Etzem Mahusa is Kashus to the Eibush, without a Tzir, what type of Eifin is this Kashus? What type of Eifin is this connection? It's a Mahus which is the Etzem Mahus of the Neshama without the Agdar of how and what, without a definition. So Mele, any Tzir, any Prat is Shalei Be'erech like Abi Desini. That's on one hand. Le'idach, so usually when you have something which is Shalei Be'erech to something else, it's much higher, it's a whole different caliber. So b'shas that in is Nizgala, the Prat is going to be negated, it's going to be lost, it will be Nizbatel. Not that you have all the Inyan and Prat in Mishlei Muslim. The Rebbe says that when do you have that Agdara? That when you have an Inyan which is higher than Prat, when it says Gala, the Prat is Nizbatel, that's when the Inyan which is higher than the Prat has a certain Siyur. It's not just the Mahus of whatever it is, there's also a certain Siyur in that Mahus. So that Siyur is Shailo, the Siyur of the Prat, Never Shuach Neshama Chaya. Mash'ege, the Mahus HaNeshama is the Etzem and Kudav Eskashas Alakus beyond any Tzir. So that Inyan contains, so any Eifin of it's not, it doesn't negate a Tzura Prat of Eskashas Leibish. So that's the Seichel is connected to Leibish through the form of Seichel. Yechida is the Etzem and Kudav Eskashas, not with, before it's defined in a certain form. So as that certain Inyan is not Shelo the Prat. Fakir, that's the Mahus of all the Pratim. And when this Mahus is Mizgalis, so there's it's Peil and Ilui, a Shleimus in all Pratim. That we'll see more before the Behemshech. She says, Gami tam zeh nimsh l'teres achsidis l'shemen. So there's different chinas. There's Yena shal Teira, and there's Teira called Cheleche Mayim. Yena shal Teira. Chassidus is Shemen Shabbatera. Why is Razin dir Razin? Here it brings in the order 51 that difference between Yain and Shemen. Okay, we'll see that soon. So what's this? So in Rabbini, brings one Nekud, the reason why Chassidus is connected to Shemen Dafka. The Rebbe brings Azam a certain Nekud over here. Shemen is Razin dir Razin. So the Rebbe touches like this. The kesher between Shemen to Razin dir Razin, Yain is Razin, because the mashke, the Yain is Nelam in the grape, and Shemen is Razin dir Razin. That we'll see. That he brings in the in Rabbini and Dar. But the Rebbe is masber another Nekud. The difference between Shemen, Chassidus to Shemen. Dr. Azeh. Shemen hu Nekudas hatamtzis essence shall call davar. Every single nivra in the world, you could extract certain moisture, certain shemen out of it. Why is it? Because there is the most basic element that's the nekudas hatamtzis of every mitzias. That's the most basic element of a mitzias. There's different elements in the nivra, in every nivra. So every nivra has its own sir. This is water, this is wood, this is every inin has its own sir prati. And the sir prati is different. Wood is a different tchunis than mayim, for example. But from every single nivra, you could extract this mineral of shemen. every nivra. So we can design that from every nivra you can extract this echos of shemen, because shemen is mevata the nekudas hatamtzes of every nivra. Every nivra there's a certain nekuda where that's the most basic, the mohos of the nivra. There's a certain, this mohos could be expressed in many different ways. This mohos could be actualized in a way of wood, in a way of shemen, in a way of mayim, in a way of eish. But that's each nivra has different b'chos for Yisayis, and each nivra has its own seer. But each nivra has its own seer. But then there is what's the essence of every nivra? Not the etzem mohos of the inyan, not the way it's mitztayer in a seer of eitz, in a seer of wood, in a seer of dem, tzamei chayim medaber. There's a certain nekudas mohos of the etzem nekudas hanivra. In every world, there's, let's say, Elam Hazag Ashmi. So there's the klolus suga mitzias, that it's, let's say, a physical mitzias. Within that physical mitzias itself, there's different forms of this physical mitzias. You have daimim, tzemeh, chayim, medaber, chayis, eish, there's different ifanim. That's tzuras in the mitzias, different tziyurim pratim. But then there's the etzem nekudas hamahos. What's the most basic core of the nivra? So the core is connected to shemen. There's one core. There's one core of everything. The core is that it's a nivra gashmi, whatever the agdar of the nivra gashmi is, whatever that mohos is. That mohos is mitzvah. There's a tzad hashava between eitz, shemen, and mayim, between eitz, chveis, and everything else. That they're all in nivra and gashmi. So there's one general mohos that it's a davar gashmi, and this mohos there's davar gashmi in this type of form, and davar gashmi in the chveis a davar rach or a davar kasha. Davar rach and davar kasha, that's a davar rach. That's not the mohos of the fact that it's a mitzias gashmis. Davar rach is a certain eifin in the way the mitzias gashmis could be, a certain form. There's always what's the mohos hadavar and how that mohos is mitztayer in a certain form. You see, there's the mohos neshama is not the form of seichel. It's dveikus to the Eibishter, let's say. Dveikus, you have the way it's mitztayer in the form of havana vasaga. Havana vasaga is a certain form of being davuk to something. So there's the way the kashet l'kus is mizbat and etzir havana vasaga. There's the way this mahus of kashet to the Eibishter is in a form of Ava V'yira. But Ava V'yira is a form of a mahus. Ava V'yira is not the mahus. The mahus, Ava is the mitzias of Ava. But the mahus of Ava its core is a certain form of connection to the Eibishter. So the aspect of kashet l'kus, that's the mahus hadavar, not the tzir, not the form. So there's in every darga of reality, there's the kudas hatamtzis of that mitzias. There's the core of that darga of being, and then there's that core, how it expressed itself in different forms of being. In a davar rach and a davar kasha, and there's doimitz mecham, there's also different efanim in this general category of the nivra nilam hazeh. But shemen stems from the nekudas hatamtzis of every mitzias. That's why from every mitzias you could extract shemen. From barzel, from any type of being, you could extract this mineral of oil. Farvas, because shemen represents the nekudas hatamtzis of the nivra, not its tzir prati, not its form, the core, the etzem mahus of the inyan. So it says the essence.
So kol davar means from everything, not from each
So first of all, shemen is I'm already saying whatever is mevar, but shemen, the most basic element of every single being is shemen. I don't know exactly how it works, but you could in the tzir chitzeni you won't be able to take shemen. There's the tzir chitzeni of the wood. You have to the grunt of it to the basic element of the wood, and if you go to the basic element, you're able to extract oil from it. I'm saying from the tzir chitzeni you're not going to find shemen there. It's a more nelam take a tchun in the mitzias. It's how do you say in Nekudas hatamtzis? When you boil it down to its core element, that's from there to come in the restam shemen. So you have an apple. The full tzir of an apple, and then you could take out. Let's say today you take out different. You could different, which are not the tzir chitzeni, the flesh of the apple. There's certain vitamins, I don't know exactly what it is. They could extract it from the inyan. If you go to the most basic element of every particle that you find, there's going to be shemen, that type of material of oil.
Shemen is one.
Huh?
Shemen plus oil.
The tzim not is different ifanim of shmanim. I'm saying, but this material of oil, whatever oil I'm saying As steht. I never tried it, I don't know. But as if you take even the most driest piece of wood, if you're going to break it down to the most basic elements, you can be able to extract oil from it. As steht. So what's the pshat? So the Rebbe said, "Mizem mucharech," that the muhus of Shemen mitzad atzmei was moved to mikol davar. I mean, Shemen. This I already said the beer, but first the Rebbe brings a fact: oil has amesor zach that you could extract it from everything, every single nivra, and it's most. If you're gonna take down the tzura chitzainis of the nivra, and you're gonna go back to its more basic elements, that you'll be able to find this mineral of oil. But elamai, I just remind myself this has nothing to do with. If anybody watches this video, it's but not that I know anything, but they used to, in camp they used to go to I don't know take the kids on a trip to show you how to survive in the forest.
Yeah.
So I remember them. Hey, you could take out water from different things. Anyways.
How do we take it out?
Ich weiß nicht, but that's I remember that at meine Besmaßbrücke gewende mir dort. Anyways. Aber da steht da. So mizem muchrech shemesad atzmai muvdelu mikol davar. That the eichos of Shemen is a mohus muvdelis, which has no yachas to any davar prati. Yeah. It means if Shemen was a type of material that relates to a certain tzir prati, means there's water and there's juice, a certain chaymer, different types of mitzvahs in Ba'elam. If the eichos of Shemen had a relation, it was the same type of texture or the same type of tchunis as a davar prati, as eitz or daimim or even, whatever the dimin with any certain chaymer, then it couldn't be the tamtzis of everything, the most basic element of every single thing. You have tziyurim, eitz, chveis, and barzel, which are different tziyurim legamri, and both of them, the most basic element of the barzel and of the eitz is shemen. So if it's the most basic element, sayav barzel and sayav eitz, you can't say that this eichos of shemen relates to the tzir prati of eitz. If it relates to eitz, so how could you extract this same mohos from barzel, which barzel has no dimyon, it's at the tzir to eitz. So the fact that you could extract this nekudas atam, this eichos of shemen from different type of tziyurim means that shemen is represents and it's neveah from the nekudas ha'etzem of the nivra, from the nekudas ha'mohos, and the nekudas ha'mohos is mufshit from a tzir prati. There's this mohos, and then there's the way it expressed itself in different forms, but the mohos is beyond the forms. The mohos is the core itself. So shemen doesn't relate to the tzir prati of an inyan. There's it's connected to the mohos, which is mufshit from a shaykhas to the tzir prati. But maybe you're able to extract it from anything. The mohos hadavar is the same mohos, side from eitz and side from shem and side from barzel, inside the mohos point of view. So misamuch shem sadatzmi moved lo mikol davar. Give me imaisle shachas davar prati. I mean, this the tchun of shemen relates to the tzir prati of a certain mitzias. So loy haya yachal lias nekudas hatamtze shel kol davar. Then it couldn't have been the most basic element from every single thing, because the dvarim are sheinim. Shemen represents the atzmius of the mitzias anivra. Means there's the core essence of the inyan, and then there is the way the inyanim are mitztayer. Shemen is not another tzir ba'elam. It's also another mitzias, but Shemen represents the nekudas hatamtzis of every nivra, the nekudas hakor, not the tzir. So since it's the core before the idea of forms, before the inyan takes up in a certain form of eitz or mayim or kayetz b'zeh, b'meile he's gefindt sich an alts. Ki ha'atzmi nimtza b'kel means since he represents the core of the mohos, the core is everywhere, because all the madrigas pratis are the core, the way the way it comes into different siyurim, but the nekudas hatamtzis is the same in everything. So out there says Rebbe brings me to get Chassidus. The Mashal the Rebbe's going to bring later. You have the Rebbe's the way the Rebbe's asking you the Chid that we're holding this shlav of the Sichis. So you have Neveshoch and Neshama Chaya are all ifanim pratim tziyurim tzuris pratis. Let's speak about the Neshama in the way the Neshama connects to the Eibishter. Then there's the Nekudas Hatamtzis. What's the mohos of the Neshama? The etzem inyan of connection to the Eibishter with not a certain tzura. There's no tzura at all. From the Pchinas etzem there's no tzura altogether. And Chassidus is a Adarech like Shemen is a certain mitzias which represents this nekudas hatamtzis. Chassidus represents the nekudas hamahus of Seder Shtalshlus, of the lekus hamalubish in Seder Shtalshlus. Let's say Mesiras Nefesh, let's say, represents the nekudas hamahus of a yid, not a certain sort of pratis of a yid. And when a yid becomes aware of his mahus, so automatically all the keiches are beifanacher because it's their mahus. So if let's say you have seichel and midas, a person is mechazik is midas, it's not necessarily going to be mechazik is seichel. Seichel and midas are unter der Sachen. But if a person's mohus is not bezgalus, he has versteht maybe he's dovek and a tzir of avana v'asage. But the etzem, but his mohus, that his mohus is iskashas telekus, that mohus is not meir v'goli. Kocht sich in seichel and connecting telekus in the form of seichel. The etzem Indian of connecting to the Eibishter without a form, that he's not aware of. That's not bezgalus in him. So it's not only b'shas der Indian v'tizgalavern, it's going to be payalei safa, a different type of dveikus in a seichel dike dveikus. Because seichel's mohus is not seichel. It's connection to the Eibishter in a certain seer. So when the mohus Indian is more bezgalus, this and mitzad the mohus Indian, everything's b'shleimus also. That was mevar before. So the seichel is going to be b'shleimus. Everything will be b'shleimus. Just stam a dugma ledover. It's not just you have say yilmid adam makim shalebi chafetz. Why a person could work, even a person could force himself to learn something and understand. Even if a person doesn't have a geschmack, his seichel could work. But the keich haseichel mitzad atzmei, if a person feels b'muchash, that regularly, a person learned a bissel, he gets tired, or he has to eat, he gets this, he gets that. If someone is koching sich in something, someone has a geschmack in something, so a person can be involved in things and not be margish that he's tired, and not have to eat, and not have to this, not have to that. When your nefesh is munach in something, whereas the nefesh doesn't have that bolus that the guf has. The mayach gets tired, and he feels every nikud of if it's the air is not working well, he gets annoyed. The nefesh is not mubul with these agbolas. So b'shas seichel stamazei keich seichel working independently. You're learning with the keich seichel amelubish b'mayach. So then you're going to feel every discomfort, and if you get a little hungry or chveis, it's going to be you're going to be margishit, and you're going to have to. The seichel won't be able to work with the grest to take it. But if you have a geschmack in what you're learning, it means your nefesh is melubish in it. The nefesh is not mukbal in all these akbolas. And it's not the weather darten is going to make it. If sein geschmack liegt in them, so the seichel is going to work by fenacher. When the seichel is connected to the mohus hanefesh, that I'm learning it because I have a geschmack in it, because my nefesh is there. So then the seichel is not mukbal with the regular akbalas of seichel, because the seichel is an extension of the mohus, because that's where he wants to be. That's where his nefesh wants to be. His nefesh is expressing itself in the form of seichel. When the mohus is mer begoli, the keiches are going to be in a eifin of shleimus. That's what I'm saying. You have, what I'm saying over here. You have Eishumayim. You can just see a form of being. You don't see what the core of this being is. What is Eishumayim representing? They're representing a certain core in a certain way. When that core, mitzad that core, the regular akbalas of Eishumayim don't exist. Eishumayim said that's a regular dvar mukbal. A dvar mukbal has akbalas. It's not nitzchi, and it's a different chisreinis in a dvar mukbal. B'shas dvar mukbal is nirgash is that it's not a dvar mukbal. But etzem there's a mohos which kol inyani is dveikus to the Eibishter without any tzir, without any akbalas. Mitzad, the fact that it's not mukbal, it could express itself in any form. So that form is not detached from the mohus. So the same way the mohus is not mukbal, seichel, when it's a result of the fact that the etzem haneshama, his akeshet lukus is not mukbal, that seichel is not going to be an eifan of akbalas. His iskashis to lukus seichel will be nishlam. B'shas seichel is an extension of the mohus. Versteht the minion? So there brings here. Oh, sagt eine interessante Sache. Für da wird gesagt, Chol Inyanim shel Pnimi Satira, Mizbate gam b'Nigla Satira. This Inyan is Mizbate Nigla Satira. It's also this kleine Shemishim Mizbate gam b'Nigla Satira. Is Ad Balach Lamaisa. Mitzad Echad. And one is interessante Sache also. Hashem and Eri Misare b'Shar Mashke. Every other Mashke. So ich weiß yain and mayim will be as arif. They'll get say integrated, and the yain b'fnei atzmai will be as alim. Now it's mixed with water. So now it's integrated with water. Now the water is not going to be full pure water anymore, and the yain is not pure water. Now there became a mixture. It became a new entity. It's mixed now. Shemen can never be integrated with anything else. It always contains its independent mohus. It never loses its identity. He'll never get integrated in another mashke. He always stays himself. He stays in mahus mufshetis. That's on one hand. So what's that from them? So we see from that, when I'm saying, if you say one Indian has ashpa on something else, let's say seichel has ashpa on midas. Seichel has ashpa on midas. Seichel mitzad atzmai is beyond midas. Seichel is havana v'asage. Midas is hergish. It's two separate inyanim. There's an aspect of seichel which could relate to midas. So that's already a darga mitzum semes of seichel, which is already mixed with midas. It's not seichel b'tarasi. Seichel b'tarasi is higher than midas. The fact that seichel can have ashpa and midas is we're in a darga where the nekudas seichel is not meir with the ganzer starkeit, and in that area there's a chibur between midas and seichel. So you say yain and mayim. It's two different mitzias. So you have one mitzias could mix with something else, could have ashpa and something else. But when it's having ashpa, so the yain loses its own independent starkeit from the yain given, and there's a mayim loses its own independent starkeit that it was. It becomes mixed. There's a ruchnis. Two keiches. If one is having ashpa and something else, then the elyon, which is having ashpa on the other most, is not. It's not the way it is in its own atmis. That's if the elyon has a certain seer and the tachlis is another seer. So where's the nekudas hakesher? Because there's a certain aspect in the elyon and tachlis which is a hashva between them, or they're able to be mischaber. When you speak about the nekuda atzmis is a different word. Nekuda atzmis, since it has no definition, so mitzad echad, it has no shayches to the prat. More than seichel, seichel is not bamitis mufshet legamri of midas. Varai, there's an aspect in seichel which does relate to midas. Mashik the nekuda sa'etzim is pshitis, has no tzir at all. Mashik the keches pratim have a tzir. There's no erech between built-in mitzias to inyan of tzir. Leidach the built-in mitz b'meilas and even when the didn't see this. It's never misarif. It's never misarif because there's never a yachas between a nekuda which is mufshet from tzir to a tzir prati. There's no yachas. There's no relation between them. Shemen is always going to stay its own mahus. It's never going to become integrated legamri with something else. It says leidach mifafehu b'chol davar. Yeah, it says when you have if the chatichas isser is shamin, I remember the dinim now in Shulchan Aruch. The Rebbe's mitzvah here to the I think the Gemara there is that you have if the isser is shamin, and this even though tzli b'derech klal is only mavliya kedei netila, or only a short amount. If there's something, if the isser beheter and is bashal through mashkin, so then it's mizbaldo the kule the bliya. But if it's only if you have a chaticha shmeina, and you're roasting it together with the chaticha, if the chaticha's isser is shmeina, together with the chaticha's heter, which is kusha, so if with tzli mitzad, a regular chatich, two chatichas next to each other by tzli, it's only kedei netila, because there's no mashke, so chayad tzli, it's kedei netila. But if the chaticha's isser is shmeina, so it's mefafeh b'kuli. A davar shamin, once it penetrated the other chaticha, it's cheder the entire chaticha. It doesn't stay limited in one area of the chaticha. It's cheder b'kuli. It's mefafeh b'kuli. So leidach a davar shamin, the tchuna of shamin is that if it goes somewhere, it saturates it in ganzen. It's very durchgezapt in the other chayfetz. Doesn't stay separate. It's mefafeh b'kuli. So this is fakert. Since shemen represents the nekudas core of the Indian, so the core never becomes mitzumtzim leite prat. It's not when you're saying the elin kamayshehu is mifafeh b'kuli. The yachas of the nekudas atamtzis to the chachma, you say in the nimshal, the yachas of chinas yechidish benefesh with the seichel is not that the yechidish benefesh relates to the tzir of seichel. It's the core of seichel. So since it's the core, it's never mitzumtzim and never does. In order for it to be mechayes seichel. And to be mashlim seichel doesn't have to be mitzamtzim itself. The nekudas etzim kamei shehi is nimtza b'kol makom. The nekudas etzim kamei shehi is the core of everything. If you have a mitzir, if the elyon is a davar mitzuyir, so how could it be everywhere? But if the elyon has no tzir at all, so it doesn't have this agdara that it can't be a chayis in everything. It doesn't have to be yered b'mehusay in order to be mechaya everything. This nekudas atamsa, since it represents the mahusa inyan, before the whole definition of having a certain form of being, but Mela doesn't have the akbala that it can't be everywhere. It's shaykh everywhere. The way it is mufshit is shaykh everywhere. And if it's somewhere, it doesn't come lemechza in a place. It's nemta sadurch and ganzen. The whole inyan becomes oily dark. It comes in durchgenommen mezan inyan. Because he's the nekudas atamsis. And the mahus is the mahus of everything. He's not the mahus is not mufshit. What's the mahus of seichel? The mahus of seichel is not seichel. It's connecting to the eibishter with a tzir of seichel. Its connection to the eibishter had a tzir of bli gvul, so that's not the mahus of seichel. Seichel is gvul. The mahus of the mahus of iskashas alakus is not a kesher which is connected to any tzir. But mele it's the mahus of everything. So that's the pnimius of every form of connection. It brings out as the Misadecha the shemen eni misare b'shum davar. Leidach es dringt durch jeder Sach.
So in
doesn't stay on the surface of something. Usually when I'm saying is, usually when you have an alien, Chassidus brings it, you say in the Nimshal, no Gashmis, but Chassidus we have the marshal Ratzin is makif. Seichel is immer zu versteht, sagst der Meach nimmt rein in sich, was verstanden. Or but if someone wants something, the Ratzin is not nimshach bepnimius in the Yevarim. You can't. The Ratzin is the nefesh wants. So it's not just the Ratzin is neslabish. The Evarim are bottled to the Ratzin. If someone wants something, he's going to go and do it. But the will is not mislabish in the mayach that they could grasp the will itself. They know that there is a Ratzin, but the Ratzin stays mufshit. So the Ratzin take drinkt nicht dadurch. It's not nefafeh b'chol hadavar. It's only negeya and a chelik chitzeni of the tartan. It doesn't penetrate him ganzen. Mashaykin Shemen, on one hand, Shemen stays in its own its own distinct mohos. It keeps its own identity of Shemen. Leidach, it doesn't stay removed from the thing that it comes in contact with. It doesn't stay on the surface. It saturates it in ganzen. Why? Because it's the nekudas hatamtzis. The nekudas hatamtzis is the pnimius of everything. But the lamdas is, since the nekudas hatamtzis is not a certain form, it's the mohos without a tzir. But mainly, he's the mohos of every tzir. He's not shaylu the tzir. He's the mohus primus of every tzir. That's the nekudas advar. Was steht in ihrer Idee Sifei im gedenkt? That's the thing that I just said. That did. But there's machlekes in the.
That's fine.
No, I'm saying the okay. If it's mefatim, that's something else. Everybody agrees that it's chticha shmeina, chticha chusha.
Talked about Sifei also.
That's machlekes already. That's the Rabar. If the head to the shaman and the Isser is chusha, the head doesn't fasten. So what's the question? The question is if the bliya is shaman.
No, it's a machlekes.
The plate is
shaman, and it's a machlekes if it's mefatim.
That's machlekes. There's different shits there. Yeah, the whole this part of the Ozli shaman and mefatim l'chusha, that's the gabi reach, not the gabi bliya in the Gemara. Good, okay. The Gemara in Cholin is a benegate the Kedishat Tzlei b'chalbi. Okay, let me send weiter. L'chein nimshal achsid. So here there was a l'chein nimshal teres achsidus l'shemen. Ki gam ba shtei this is the oil, it's the tchuna of oil. The shumen is not okay. L'chein nimshal teres achsidus l'shemen. Ki gam ba shtei tchuna seilu. Achsidus is al bezach. Mitzad inyana atzmi. What's the muhus of achsidus? Eini masareves b'shum davar. So achsidus epis you're gonna want to relate it to this Indian, to that Indian. It doesn't relate mitzad the muhus of what chassidus is. It's nekudas achayis shalamayla meispashtus. Ispashtus means the way the Indian is already visatash tzachah, the way it's materialized. Chassidus is the nekuda atzis. Le'idach yisim ispashetasi is gefinzachen alts is mispasheti mefafas b'chol dor v'dor v'kanal. Nachazach achayish b'teres so the Rebbe starts like this. Achayish b'teres chassidus machnisa b'chol inyan elam katan zeh adam elam k'pshutay. The Rebbe gebracht frier. So nimsheches machayish chassidus machnisa b'chol inyan atayra. And by the chayizu, yeah, stakel beiraisa baram. Kol inyan abrir nimshach me'atayra. Boy mayod. It's nimshach from everything is nimshach from Torah. Means first you have the Indian in Torah, and then it's from Torah kommt das up in Welt. And the fact that it's nimshach in Welt is through Torah. Everything's boy mayod. So there brings al derech that this Indian that spoke before when get in Yan Elam is al derech when get to Torah itself. But Torah dalat chalakim. Pshat remes drush seid. And steht I think that the pshat remes drush seid is connected the nefesh and neshama chaya also, and connected al delam is so it's mechuvan to the 40 yanim of the dargers of the neshama. But Torah chassidus machnis chayis b'chol echad mem. Which, according to Havana, before it comes out, because Chassidus is the nekudas hatamtzis of Torah. Torah is the Indian of Ein Sof. In a certain every the mahuz of Torah is Ein Sof. But Nigla Deraisa, the Dalet Chalakim of Torah itself is the nekudas Ein Sof, the way it's connected to a certain tzir, a certain prat. The Rebbe gebracht frier. Mashiach Chassidus represents the nekuda atzmis, the nekudas Ein Sof, the mahuz Ein Sof. So with Torah Achad the Pshat Rem is Rush Torah Achad Mechas Chayes B'chol Ekadem Asher. It's an interessante Sache. Neis was es der Chassidus bo biyurim linyanim shenim shebechol dal chalkei Torah. You have in Chassidus, you have different inyanim in medrash are in his bar in a maimer. Pashat inyanim in drush are in his bar. You have inyanim in halacha which are in his bar. Inyanim in pshat aksuvim. You have different maimerim. In fact, the shayla pashat in pshat shel mikra pshat in a pasuk, and the maimer is mevayer. Besides for the beer primi inyanim, there's a beer neisef in pshat shel mikra. So the maimer of sheishes yamim. So what's the matzah when you get Why is the Balagoda say that it's Mitzad the Matzis before Chatzos? So the Alter Rebbe said because it was the Alter Rebbe is a beer because Mitzad the Isser. Why is it say because of Gigershu? L'chora there was an Isser to eat matzah, so it was only by night or it wasn't. I'm saying the Alter Rebbe lapels Misyachas the Indian also in the dark of Pshat. Many Mamorim that there's a Biyurim Nisaf and Pashat in Pshuti Yanyon. And Alter Rebbe get a drush, and Alter Rebbe in Kabbalah for sure. There's no in Yonim Biyurim Chassidus when they get Kabbalahs, when they get to Kabbalah in Yonim when they get to the mitzvah. So that means once the Mahus is Nizgale, so the Mahus is not defined by a certain surah. So b'shas the Mahus was Nimshach, there was no in Yonim Pshat Remes drush site. If you have a certain inyan prati was Nizgale, so then if you have a new emek and seichel. So midas vetish is not going to become baraycher to live them. Seichel is to come an aimek. Mash'egen wants the nekudas apnimius is mizgale. The nekudas apnimius is not defined by a certain seer. But mele every single Indian there was nischadish in every single realm. B'shas chassidus was nizgale. There's new inyanim nizgale in achal kater. Pashat nu pshatim and new inyanim and new biurim in medrash. V'kayitz b'zeh. Shegam zeh she'el tasvar shachsidus b'abach de levar shechelik asay shubetei rabelvad. Didn't only come for that. Ibazeh, but Gedav Zayin Chassidus nor Biyurim in Kabbalah. It's not we're not dealing with Stam. It's Dr. Maimer. It's not the pshat that since the Rebbe thought of a good taich in a pasuk. Loma das Areinstellen for was nicht. It's all behemshet to the Kudah Chassid the Kim Chaim. It's Dr. Maimer. It's Dr. Stam in Yonam An. He's saying Divrei Kim Chaim. So if it wasn't as a Teitzah of the Gilei Chassidus this beer of the Pshutish Mikra, then it wouldn't be contained. It wouldn't be Nichlal in the Maimer. That's versteht. So that's a right. This is not just the Indian of beer chelik asay. Limud achsidus, and that's ein zach. And noch azach the Rebbe noch azach. Limud achsidus interessante Sache comes out from here. Limud achsidus mach neschayis b'chol Indian ve'Inyan shalim de matera. So I says a yid that learns chassidus, so all what he learned is going to be with a different level. Everything that he learns. Pshat will be chai befen acher. So limud achsidus brings the eir achsidus to a person, and it's mamshech in him a shayches to the chayis atzmi in Torah, a chayis atzmi of Torah. So also to get learning, any inner that he's going to learn is going to be on a different target, a different chayis. Every inner that he's going to learn, but chayis atzmi. The chayis zeh not only it's going to be chai befen atzmi that his nigla is connected to the mahus of nigla, and pshat is connected to the mahus of pshat. But Chai is meisav gam behirus v'emek eser ba'avanas inyan. Pashat avana, the avana of the inyan. That means in every aspect of the inyan, it's teisa be'er durch chassidus. Because when the mahus is mizgale, the tzir is b'shleimus also. Because the tzir is an extension of the mahus. Is this mahus how it expresses itself in that tzir? So the tzir is going to be nishlam. Mashegim when the mahus is nelam, the tzir is chaser. So he's learning a maimer. He's not learning about the Gemara that he's learning. He's learning some maimer. That maimer that he learns will give him a chayis pnimi in other chalakim and Torah that he learns. And al derech zeh the avan and the behiris with zayin anders. The verstand alim with zayin will be more with more clarket, with more emek. We relate to what it's saying, or as ich stehe da. And nicht das Simen am lernt sich chassidus episode zeh. Yeah. Dugma, this is the state. This is the emes. Dugma is the benigla Torah. Yeah, we didn't really see that in the Dugma that they're about to get to Welt. You don't see how b'shas you have shemen, so the tchuna pratis of a mitzias becomes more meshubach when you have shemen. From shemen you just see that it stays with its own identity and it's a drink tadruch yeder zach. But you don't see that the tzir prati of the Indian is nishlam through shemen. Here the Rebbe brings that a Dugma such an Indian nigla that the tzir prati of the Indian is nishlam when the mahus is nizgal. So he says, "Kol avedis yom kippurim is the Torah ba'alacha. Kol avedis yom kippurim in eksheris elabai. Avedis yom kippurim is shaychus only a king gadol is kosher to do those avedis. And if it was done by a kohen hediyot, so the avedis psula. And the halacha is not only avedis, in other words, mainly the avedis yom kippurim, the soyer and nasi b'fnim, the inyanim which are connected to yom kippurim. So first that's only kosher the kohen gadol. But l'chore carbon tamid has nothing to do with yom kippur. Carbon tamid is bought every single day. So a carbon tamid every single day is you don't need a kohen gadol. It's a regular kohen. L'chore carbon tamid yom kippurim is not the yom kippur. Yom kippur wasn't mechayev the carbon tamid. The mechayev carbon tamid because it's a regular day. So why also the avedis which are on every single day, or keteiras ben beka ben abayim, which is a daily aveda, also that aveda is only kosher b'kohen gadol. So there is a commercial Yom Kippurim Ma'ilo. La Aveda Michadas de Yom Kippurim. That's it. Kippurim is Yom Yuchad Dashana. So the Aveda that's mischayiv mitzad the specialty of that day has to be from a higher darg of a kohen gadol. Kachi pe'el is gam b'atmidin musafin if it's Shabbos, Hameshtayich Mitzad Atzmo Chol Yemei Hashana. Shekam Heim Miskashim B'Shkas Hashem Kippurim. Those are the Rebbe. Means Avedas HaTomid of Yom Kippur is not a regular Tomid. It's a Tomid of Yom Kippur, and that Tomid is only kosher b'Kein Gadol. Even though L'chura the Mechayiv is a regular Yom Tomid, but if this day is Yom Kippur, the Kedusha of Yom Kippur is the pnimius of everything. The Yom Kippur is not another prat. So Sukkot is a Yom Prati Bashana. Sukkot is the Zman of Simcha. So Simcha is a davar prati. So the Yom Tov, let's say Sukkot had a certain Kedusha, but that Kedusha is not going to affect the carbon Tomid. Because Tomid is an under Inyan, that's an under Inyan. Mashiach Yom Kippur is not a Kedusha pratis. It's the Zgalus of the Pnimius of what a Yid is. The Pnimius state Begoli, so all the pratim are already also Meir in them, the way they're Neveah from the Mahus. So these pratim are connected to Kein Gadol also. They're in a different darga that day. Chene begel teres achsidus, which is b'chinas Shabbos and Shabbatera, shepi'elasi b'chol chelkei atera, ki dal dechalakim pardu Shabbatera, dal b'chinas nevesh ruach neshama chai Shabbatera. Teres achsidus b'chinas yichidus Shabbatera, mitzad gila yichidim es alem gam hanevesh ruach neshama chai kenal. Let's get mitzvah. So really, in the Hemshcha Kundras, there's two chalakim. I'm saying chelik tes the Rebbe's ma'arich more. This nekuda havishas mitzad achsidus, the nevesh ruach neshama chai is beifanacher. Not that we're shel the nevesh ruach neshama chai. They're beifanacher, and then. And later in Sifrit Ches, the Rebbe goes through the when they get this nachazach, when they get to the ishap, let's listen to them. Wir gehen durch ein paar Ordes und wir gehen weiter. There's one order, was verstehen wir dort nicht steht, but this just one order. We could do two orders. So the order 51, I don't know which the one when they get Shem and his Razen dir Razen. The more the wine stays in the grape, wird es besser. Shekin Hashem and Ikuve bezayis eine meisiv keiche klal. V'hainu sheyayin u'pchinas helem. Yayin v'gematri yisayit. V'lechem mitesiv keiche adi Ikuve behelem. Shekin Shemin u'lamayla migeder inyan helem migilir. We're saying yayin is a certain form of being. But it's an helem dikazach, a behalten azach. The more it's behalten, the more you're meisif in its echus. Mashiach Shemen is not, it's not an inyan nelam. It's not connected to any tzir. It's not a mysterious thing. Mysterious is also a certain tzir. It's a hecher from Gilui. It's not higher than Gilui. It's the Mahusa inyan before the Darim of helem begilui. So the Pali you can't see it before, but it's not, nothing's nitaisa b'shas, it stays nelam in the zayis. Mizah moving gam teres achsidus shnim shel Hashem and he lemayla migeder helem v'gilui. Chen levichot elasis mehelem gilui. And Kodesh Achsidus is not a certain darga of Metzias, not even a darga of Shetis, the Pnimius Eini. It means in 56, that's am verstehen, the Rebbe sagt auf Sazam in Sorzach. It means it steht in Terasholim that the Welt meint as Chassidus is a beard of Kabbalah. And the Rebbe Rashab says that it's a tos, and the MS is that. So this for sure. So that we have in the Pnim also. It's a tos to say that Chassidus is a beard of Kabbalah, because Chassidus you have many other things of Chassidus. But then it means noch about. Mashem Mesaim Sham, Kabbalah is a beard of Chassidus. What's mean? This Kabbalah is a beard of Chassidus. So Yishleimar l'chorah Chassidus is in for itself. Kabbalah is a beard of Chassidus. They say about al derech hatzachos that the Alter Rebbe Kutateri you have Maimorim, and then there's the Alter Rebbe added a beard alanal, beard on the Maimor. So usually the beard is more a sikh not Kabbalah. So that's the pshat. Kabbalah is a beard of Chassidus. That the Maimorim which are beardim are more b'derech Kabbalah. Okay. But the Rebbe sagt as Amisur Bard. Mashem Mesayim Shom Kabbalah is a beard of Chassidus. Sagt as Amisur Bard. Yishleimar Chassidus in Yana Yedias HaLekus Chulu. Yechida Mekabelis Miyochid. Yeah, the Bechina of Yechida Shebenefesh, which is home hosted that it's a Mekabel from Yochid, from the Etzim of Lekus. So there's a Chassidus in Yana Yedias HaLekus sounds like it doesn't mean not Yedia Hasaga. There was Medami Yechida that its home host is the Kabbalah from the Etzim, from the Pnimius of Lekus. Nitzas mislabash v'keich nitzas nikri chidagot. Ayidei kama misholim dugmois hasbaris v'chulu. V'akabolim v'eres hamokim megufa demalka. B'sfiris v'chulu. I don't understand what the Rebbe is saying, but epeshteda. Kabolim v'eres hamokim megufa demalka b'sfiris. He says Chassidus is Yedias HaLekus, not knowing the tzir claim of the Eibush Kabiyah. Sounds like that means Yedias HaLekus, Yedias HaPnimius of HaLekus. Al derech Yechidim Kabbalas Miyachid. A Yedias in the Pnimius of HaLekus. I'm not sure, ich verstehe nicht von the back and forth here. Yedias HaLekus, Tamas is of Yedias Vasaga, so it doesn't relate to Yechidim Kabbalas Miyachid. Then it's in a code of, it sounds like they were saying, Inyani Yedias HaLekus is Inyani Yedias the etzem velikus. I dim kam shalom the gmois vas baris. So Kabbalah is very samakim. I'm not sure. When Kabbalah mevar is the mokim. Doesn't say that over here. So then Chassidus use Kabbalah to explain different things. Why is Kabbalah?
They explain something higher than that, though. The Kabbalah, it's about the thing.
That's what it means. The Kabbalah is lower. Okay. Then it says Kain lahoyer asher gilei hakeser. This is the Rebbe saying gilei hakeser u'b'chochma. Ma she'en kin teke va'atzmus hakeser mizbata davke b'maisa. What does the Rebbe want with this? How does this relate to the Nekuda before? The Izgalus HaKeser, Chochma is Chochma's Keichma. Bina is already Pratim and Metzias, Chochma's Keichma. So Keser is Pshitis. Where is the Inyan Pshitis and Izgala more? That's in Chochma, more than in Bina, more than the other spheres. But the Teikif HaKeser, the Atzmius HaKeser, not the Chelik of Keser, which is Shaykhas the Gili, the Izgalus of the Pshitis of Keser, but the Teikif HaBlik Vol of Keser is Nizvata Dafka in the fact in Maisa. In the fact that even where there's no Gilei at all, Alpha became Bleibter Verbunden mit them. I don't know what's the so Rebbe's Tash Kabbalah Bir Chassidus means that al derech Chachma legabi kach weiß ich that means that the al derech like Chachma is the Gilei of Keser, so Kabbalah is the Keli the Kabbalah of the Eirach Chassidus is the Eirach Keser. And in Chachma and Kabbalah, dort in Herzach mer the Eira Keser, the Gilei Keser, but the Teikef HaKeser is where there's no Giluim. That's where it's the Herzach, the Atzmius Inyan. And that's Dafkin Maisa. Anyways, this order needs, No, I'm saying, Persian Moses is not clear what's, okay, but it's mine sein in dem. Ich weiß nicht. I didn't listen to any Burim, Shana Zeis. Ich weiß nicht. Gut, lassen wir sehen weiter. Okay, let's see from Sifta. So, Ani, Hanyanam Shabbatera Reim Beribe Leinketz. Und war bei der Chefshar Akalpanim in Echel Batera Kameshu Alpi Pshat, Alpi Remez, Alpi Drush, Alpi Seid, Ves Achayis, Vabihirus, Va'imek. Sheteres Achsidis Machnisa Bechol Dal Dachalakim Shabbat. Not in the Pshat in the Pirush Alpi Pshat, a lebdik, a mahus. We're going to see a mahus there, not just a technical Inyan. A mahus, it's a chayis, and a clarkite in the technicality of the Inyan too, and the depth in the Inyan. In other words, the Inyan of Pshat Mesadatz sounds like a more superficial type of thing, not a Inyan on a chayis. And through Chassidus, the Pshat Remez just said, Hoban is a chayis. Men no much kinu b'chol inyanim shebetera. Ha'inyan shenivchayis b'turdugmahu meida ani lefanecha. This is no one would expect. You say choose a inyan in Torah. It's going to be various and out chalakim. You find a nice sugya. The sugya of meida ani is nicht as a bewusste bekannte sugya of the Welt. The sugya of meida ani. But inyan shenivchayis b'turdugmahu meida ani lefanecha chulu. In the Welt, I'm saying meida ani is a thing. It's like it's a part of the. Can't say yet. So he says like this, Ki. Why dafka meida'ani? Why is the Sazah bakanta sugya? Ki mikivan shalo adam l'hargal atzmi leirim meida'ani miyad kshinir mishnasi. Vayidei zeh yisker savaya emad alav v'yakam bezuzes. That means meida'ani is der Zach was darf der Mann nayid wegen dem Eibishten. And that, as I start tzchira, that should not stop remember about the Eibishter and to stay sleeping in bed. As I start memory about the Eibishter, which is going to get you out of bed and start working and start doing stuff. This in Hari Amira Zu, you said Verejes Sil Aveda Sa'adam, Kim Kol Rosh B'Ter L'Chayim Mesha Kolayim. Means, Abishchanarach, the Pashtus is, Teiv Lahar, what's the Lashon over there? Teiv Lahar Galatzme. Teiv, it says, Tishchanarach Teiv, right, says, if that, Mikim Shalat Lahar Galatzme. I think Teiv Lahar Galatzme means you're laying in bed, think about the fact that the Eibishter gave you your neshama, thank you for it. You'll, V'Zich Zaman, as far as Eibishter, and B'Meile, you'll, Ayidei Yamid V'Yakam V'Yavdeu. But everything, so in Tishchanarach, what's the Inyan in the life of a Yid that reminds him that the Eibishter exists? The first thing that reminds him that there's an Eibishter and that he has to go Thomas Mdinan to serve the Eibishter, that's Meida'ani. So it's the aside for the Yid's whole life, for the Yid's whole day, is Meida'ani. That's what's Me'edir him, as Fana Gotav Zervatam, Amdar from Dinan. So that's the first thing. It's the Inyan Yisaidi Me'ed, the most basic Inyan in Torah, the Inyan of Meida'ani. Zweiter Zach sagt der Techna Mir Zu, Shehu is Beinin Miyad Lefnim Miu Shechiv. It's not just a thank you, but it's Lisbeni. This steht in Shulchan Aruch. Lisbeni miyad lefnei mi u'sheichiv, lefnei melech malcham malcham HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Mishkaz Aliyas Shemar Mesaris Animali. And as they state in Shulchan Aruch, that this machshava, which that's the teichen of machshava of Meida'ani, ken yachshe b'chol asaka v'inyan. It's not only Meida'ani is the yisait for the whole day, it has to be in your mind the whole day. Teichen of Meida'ani is remembering that you're in front of the Eibishter, lefanecha. That machshava has to be a whole day. So Meida'ani really is a inyan in Torah that always has to be in the mind of a Yid. Yachshe b'chol asaka v'inyan. V'zeh klal gadol b'Torah. Mal tzadikim melchim l'fnei elikim. Shvi yisrael neged sam. It's just al derez l'tzidus kol hayim kulei. So it's nicht stam. Meida'ani is the yisait for the entire day. And not only is the Yisayid, as a mensch darf trachten wegen dem ganzen Tag, because the Teichen Meida'ani is wissen that the Eibische gefinzach lefanecha. The Meile has to be a whole day, so it's a davar merkazi b'yeser. The third Indian is kol anal avedas adam lekainei hareza de akdomas nir mishnasi b'hav le'elam klosh darama yidu. Means the MS is that a person has to every second wake up, because avedas adam is waking up from his sleep. The Rambam says that a person, when the Rambam says the musik of tshuva is that what's the remes of tshuva? Uru yishene mishinaschem. So a person not being fully as a bismaster stavedas Hashem, hases as a shloft. He's not in touch with where he has to be. And nicht bu'adav zayin. So the avedas Hashem, a person always has to wake himself up. Always has to remember deeper and more that is dotz din of the meibishn. So the matzah of nir mishnasi is every day. And what's the point of the nir mishnasi? Is gedenken the meibishn. So a yid every single second of a yid, he has to wake up and connect to and serve the Eibishter with more chayes, with more teikif. And what causes that is the Meida'ani. The person wakes up in the morning. What causes him to wake up via mention, to remember that's Stefan Eibishter, that's Meida'ani. That matzah of Nir Mishnasi has to be every single second. Because he has to every second have a deeper hergish in the fact that he's here to serve the Eibishter. And he should be, and as al zayin uf, in a tifrevek. Every second, b'amitas hadvarim, it would be his after zayin. So every second we have to wake ourselves up more to be with more dveikus in Avodas Hashem. Yeah. Yeah, there was another dogma in 67.
It's about always going more. It's about always falling back asleep.
Okay, but the Rebbe's the does mean the Rebbe though. The Rebbe always fall back asleep. I don't think that's the mention of Almol Bekin. Yeah. Mitas Yinam Yocham Mechayil Ochal. Yid every day. Darf gehen ins Nachmer. Yeah, yes, you're right. That it's can sein. It's bei uns the Indian Gimel we can have gepshutte. We need to say Meida'ani every couple of minutes. That was like a Meida'ani. It was Rebbe bringing artists. Kisam Olav Shalema Shabbat Shechiyuv Itmidi Yishtamid Me'ein Nir Mishnase. كأيدي بتر شاد مجيء له إفشار سيادي زي شو كذا زي شو بتنيم الآن زي كلات الكل شو بمال صدر البيت بعدين لمود خيز في يديه مشيات لفن زي بنشكخ من استال كمان. I don't know what's the Rebbe's Meisif here. Then in Talmud Torah, there's always enough near Mishnasi because be'etzem you know everything that you're learning. Elabein bo malach ve satir apiv you forgot it. So every limud is ma'er you something that you knew before. How's that connected to Meida'ani? Okay. Okay. So this Derech Haga, they're saying how Meida'ani is a davar yisaydi for the whole day. It's not just in the morning. I'm a likt in bed. In Pashto Shulchan Aruch, versteht this is when you're in bed, you're tired. You need eitzes to remind you about the Eibishter. So you tell you lahargal atzmi lemer Meida'ani. But once you're awake and you don't need eitzes to remind you, you're awake. There's no reason to from bed. There says no. The Indian of Mizal Derman is a chasfana God. There's often yeder sekunde from the day. And the matzah of Meida'ani is in which a person needs the entire day. So bezay yuvan pizgamish chalak adam merashav shpaseiden shomer b'mei al dusay asher nekodesh archi teves bechemlo sheb'meida'ani tzrichem lefeishta fernande spreiten al koleim kolei. The Raza used to tease the Rebbe Rashab, and there was he's a little older than Rebbe Rashab, and he was Baki in Diktuk already, and the Rebbe Rashab still was before that stage. So you have to ask them, why is it? And we say Bechemla Rabba in the morning. There's a dot by Meida'ani after the Bechemla, and by when we say in Berchas Krishma. Chemla Rabbi is also there. Chemla, you say Chamalta Aleinu. There's no nekuda. There's no dot. So there's no period. So the Rebbe Rashab said because in the free is the nekuda, and then a whole day that from Fernanda spreiten the nekuda. Yes, the Rebbe saying that the nekuda primis Meida'ani is taket the nekuda of the whole day. The nekuda primis is a yid gefinzach in front of the Eibishter. And the that when the nekuda is Meir Begoli is B'neir Mishnah Zervek Tzachuf, he has to remember the nekuda sapnimis that he's in front of the Eibishter. And then he has that matzav has to last, has to be extended the entire day. This is Inyan shel Mida Ani Chulu al pi chelik hapshat shebetayra is like this. What's the pshat? Also, this is not the Rebbe's masbid. You know, Mida Ani al pi pshat. The Rebbe is just saying it's not like there's this chelik hapshat. It's the Rebbe's Mavayir, but it's not written in this nusach in any of the Mekayres. The Rebbe builds it here. It was like this. Inyan shel Mida Ani al pi chelik hapshat shebetayra. Hey, Dal Hashem, you're thanking the Eibusha al shechzarte bin neshmasi, that He gave us back, in the free umalept, that we have that we're alive. They gave us back our nefesh. So the shaila is if it's just a brichas heidah on the fact that we're alive, that He gave us back our life. Lochav shemavarchem al achzaras and neshama brichas al kain neshama. So mekom ken tzarich lemer gam meida ani chulu. Ki achiyuv laheides al achzaras and neshama hu miyat kshener. So this beer, I don't think it's brought clearly in the Mekayres. This beer, as that's I don't think it's brought clearly in Shulchan Aruch that the Nekud of Meidani. I didn't look it up this year, but remember that it doesn't say clearly that the Nekud of Meidani is mitzad the chiyuv of Berchas Hanen, which is miyad. It was like this: Hachiv laheides al azaras neshama miyad kshener mishnasi. Yeah, all the Berchas Heidah that we say in the morning. So there brings from Berchas Hanen, but even at the Parshas Advarim, all the Berchas Hashachar. The Rambam says that the chiyuv is miyad when that Indian when you put your feet on the floor, you're supposed to say reika aretz alamayim. Right away when you're nan, you're supposed to make the bracha. The chiyuv is not later. But mitzad that Indian the payal apidin, you're able to say it later also. Since the birchas hashvach, so birchas hashvach even there's no din that has to be dafke kedem over lasiyasin or right near the Indian. You could say it later too. And the way we pass you could say it even if you weren't nan, because birchas hashvach on the guf habriya. But so what's the chiyuv that you have to say? Hayda for Azaras and Neshama miyad kshener mishnasi. We can't shvarten bis mevash the hand. It says kikmeish achid berchas hanen hu miyad kshenene veiterem shenene be'etzem zechiyah before you have a no. You know, asur la'adam she'enem elam hazeh b'lei bracha. So kein gam achiyah the berchas Hayda Azaras and Neshama she'anoa yeser gdeila the keleles es kol anoa es aprati she'ba'elam hu miyad kshener mishnasi. Notice if there being some brachas, but I think there it speaks about berchas hashvach or berchas hashachar. The Rebbe is relating it to berchas. There it says ksheyer mishnasa yemer berchas alakanesh. That's the whole seder of the brachas that you make for rekat salamayim, all the things in the morning. But I don't think it says there this word clear that it's in the berchas hanen. The Rebbe is masber. I mean, there's one halacha that berchas hanen has to be biyat kshenen. If you can't make the bracha before because you're sleeping, so you're not. You have no metarnish hanav from Levin without being mavarich. It could be. I'm saying it's not a regular musik berchas hanen. I'm saying it's not like there's the asur hanis. A person once you're up. I'm saying it's not. You're going to eat a davar neisef. You're going to eat food, so you're not allowed to eat before the. But the very fact that you're living, that's not avdem and ishtad chiyuv berchas hanen. The fact that you're alive, the fact that you're breathing. That's your state of being. But there isn't the kind of berchas hashvach. Once there's there's a chiyuv to say a berchas heidah for berchas hashvach. So then it should and be'etzem berchas hanen is ana. So it should have the same chiyuv al derech like berchas hanen. They should make a bracha right away. Yeah, it's not so posh this back and forth here. But so the Rebbe is like this. So since chiyuv is miyat shenen, so al derech is the chiyuv. Al derech is the chiyuv of berchas heidah. Even though this chiyuv is not mamash chiyuv berchas hanen. But al derech like berchas hanen is miyat kshenene. Al derech is the chiyuv of berchas heidah. Al hachzaras and neshama which chacham or masakin should also be right away miyat kshener mishnasi. Upiyesh berchas alakain neshama liyesu b'skaras Hashem yef shel emer achshav ketil sedaim. Yeah, and the halacha is tzarich samela tzarich laheidas al hachzaras neshama miyat kshener mishnasi. V'amiras meida ani akapan. If you can't say the bracha b'shlemusik, you still have to wash until sedaim. So you should say it al kapanim without mentioning Shem Hashem. Al shemi kol mekim tzarich levarech achar kach gam berchas alakain neshama. Why? Kineis l'zeh shvachas l'kan neshama yesh m'kama pratim shenim meida ani. Oitis meida ani im ba'askaras Hashem chabrach shem Hashem malchus ein abrach. Means you're not mekayim the chiyuv of berchas hashvach on the fact that I'm alept mit the l'kan neshama because kol bracha sheim b'Hashem malchus ein abrach. So this whole chiyuv meida ani is b'di'evet. I'm mekanish machen the bracha of l'kan neshama v'ezar zayin. So but the first thing you have to be meida l'Hashem. So say da even though you don't even though you can't say Shem Hashem. So the chiyuv meidani is mitzat the chiyuv of heidah on the fact that a person is alive, the fact that we have life again. Yeah. Now the whole nusach meidani that's hangem la'achrik chesimas hashas in Gemara shtetish this whole inyan of meidani that's brought in I think from the Goenim already, the Indian of Medani. Pisa move on Zesh was feed this beer. The Medani is because the chiyuv laheidis and the fact that we're alive is a chiyuv that we have to do right away. We can't just upstup and lefi them to verstehen. Why bisman? So it's been claimed the bracha of lekayne sham. Lefi them to verstehen. Why loy amr Medani bisman hashas? V'im barach merak lekayne sham. Ki Medani any sav v'chidish al lekayne sham. V'adarav canal. The mashi tzrichol imra achshav gam Medani han rak v'dei shadei tim yad k'shnei mishnasi. B'meim shem mevarchim al lekayne sham miyad k'shnei mishnasam lehut tzrichol imra Medani. This is verstanden. So this is Medani al Pipshat. What's Medani al Pipshat? A chiyuv heidah on the fact that the Eibusher gave us back life. Yeah. Seeing this pratim here, but and all the saying the cheshbeinis of the maskanas at Varam is, which I don't know if this maskanas is mufurish in Shulchan Aruch, that the time of Medani al Pipshat is mitzat heidah on the fact that we're alive. That's the thanking the Eibusher for the fact you have to thank the Eibusher for everything that he gives us. So Avadi, you have to thank the Eibusher for the fact that we're the Etzem life, which is the most great. Gresta Nov is Kenzain. The klal of Allah knows pratis. That's the Neget HaMedani. In Yonish Medani apichilik haremesh b'teira means Medani. What is hinted of Medani? What's the remez of Medani? Till now we're saying what's the pshat is what's the basic meaning of Medani? The basic meaning is thank you for the fact you're Zati b'nishmasi. Why am I saying thank you? Because he gave you it, so that's thank you. That's the most basic apparent beer. That's the beer of Pipshat. Remez is already what's hinted in Medani. What's hinted is Achzaris and Sham Mechol Beker Chadashim Lapkarim Mashagish Baruch Machzol Adam Sishmasi Shifkida Etzli Ve'eni Ma'akva Ba'dachev Sha'od I skipped it. Achzaris Sham Mechol Beker Remez Tchias HaMesim. Besides for the simple Hagdara of what's going on, you just woke up in the morning. What's hinted in waking up in the morning is it's a Remez Tchias HaMesim. Because Shino is Echad Meshishim B'Misa. It's a percentage of Misa. So that's the pshat that we say in the Nusach. So Rabba Munasecha Pashtus means that we could trust the Eibusher, give Mar Neshama, he's going to give it back to us. But Rabba Munasecha means that through waking up in the morning, it's mischazik the Mun in Tchias HaMesim. Mizeh shachzart v'nishmas and yedim sherabba Munasecha l'Tchias HaMesim. Shteit Medrash. That's already a hint. It's not the simple Hagdara of waking up in the morning. And it's not the simple pshat of Medani Gufa. It's a hint in the waking up in the morning that it hints to Tchias HaMesim, and it's a hint that Rabba Munasecha's meram is to Tchias HaMesim. That's the Bira Piremis. And what's the Inyan al Pi Drush? Drush is not what's hinted in this Inyan. Drush is that we use this Inyan to teach us something else. So there is this Inyan itself, that's the Pashas Advarim. Drush is that we use this Inyan to be deirish it for another Inyan. So that's the Rebbe's al Pi Drush. Also from Medrash. So the state is Azar Sham Mechol Beker Chadashim Lapkarim Masha Kadosh Baruch Hu Machzir LaAdam Es Nishmasi Shifkida Etzli Ve'eini Ma'akva B'Dachev She'Adam Chayvle. Jeder Mensch owes the Eibusher. The Erech what the Eibusher gave us, and the state in Pirkei Avos, that it's B'derech HaPinkas Pasuach, the Eibusher gives us B'derech Halva. Is the fact that the Eibusher gives a person life, whatever a person gives us, whatever the Eibusher gives is for the sake of a person paying back or for doing Avedas Hashem, but the Eibusher man for that mention. No one fulfills the Inyan b'shleimus. Yeah, steht in Shulchan Aruch b'negiyat slichus that a yid owes the Eibusher a lot. So slichus is you pay a little bit, the whole seder over there. The Eibusher is mevatel the chayv. So we owe the Eibusher a lot. So the fact that the Eibusher gives us back an neshama every morning, and he doesn't keep it ba'ad the chayvus that we owe him, mar al gedel amanasah shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, his trustworthiness. Yeah, you're giving him a pikadon. He's not going to say now that I got the pikadon in my hands, I'm going to use it to give us my nechavis. You gave it to me as a bikotin, I'm giving it back. The rabbi is the Eibusher is trustworthy. It's in of emunah. Umizanu dershim v'lam eid for them learned in our race. Shegam ha'adam tzarich li'is ish emunah be'im gazeh. A person should also behave in such a way. But also le'la'akev es b'gdoinei shel chaveri v'shel acheves sha'mafkid chayvlei. A mensch tarnished if you have a bikotin that belongs to someone else. Someone was mafkid you a chayfetz, and it happens to be that he owes you money, and he's not paying you. So you're not allowed to keep his pikadon in order to get a payment for the money that he owes you. The pikadon you have to give back. The Makar from Zayr, actually, in the Paiskim they quote the Zayr. I think the Ktseis quotes the Zayr. He brings this din. There brings all the Mekaris in order 78. Lepel's an Isser. I'm tarnished that if someone gives you a pikadon, you're not allowed to keep it ba'ad the chayv that he owes you. Yeah, Shamavkid Chayvle. even if there's no other way of getting the money. So that's already a drush. Meret is dem inyan alein. Meret, what in of Medani teaches us the guy something else. That's al pi drush. Inyonish Medani chula al pi chilik aseish b'ter melech havikayim is what's chesed is what's in of Medani in el masal yenim. What's the shadish of achzeres and shamalamata? That's chilik aseit. What's the mitzvah that we see begali here in Elam Hazi is a person waking up in the morning. What's the side of the scene? It means what's the shadish of waking up in the morning in Elam Masal Yenim in Sfirish Shalamayla? That's Kabbalah. So it's very there that the shadish and vanet is kumt. Harzars and Shamba Bakers in the pchina of Melech Havekayim. Pchinas Melech Havekayim is pchinas Hamalchus. Kumeishi Mirchedes and pchinas Hayiseit. Melech is Melech Sfiris Hamalchus. Havekayim is Sfiris Hayiseit. And that's the pshat Melech Havekayim is Bnei Shmazish. Harzars and Shamba Bam pchinas Hamalchus. Kumeishi Mirchedes and pchinas Hayiseit. There brings 4 biyurim. What's the teichen of Amiras Meidani? Is the teichen a thank you? That's a pashtus advarim. Is the teichen a rem as the tchias amesim? Rabbi Munasecha. Is the teichen of the Eibishter's says loyalty, that he doesn't keep the bikodim ba'at chevis and does that mirror learning, or it's in of the shadish of Hazaras and Shama Baker Lamaila. The chilik has the way that it was married Chassidus. We should this is a inyan. It's not as we should learn it by Havara Ba'alma. I'm saying you need a little focus. Sign the Birat Pnimius. It's also we're not used to. You expect the Birat Chassidus. It's not my marriage. This is the Hayem Yom. Yeah. That's the Birat Chassidus. But that needs a little hisyash with the Birat Chassidus. Lamer Zen. Look in order 70. We will go, but just we'll go through the order. I think the marker of Meidani is from the Sefer Seder Ayem. It's from one of the Goyim, no? This is Seder Ayem. So you think that's
60.
Huh? Seder Ayem. It's from one of the. From the first Rishonim, or no. It's the Sefer of the Dinim in Erechaim. Not all the Erechaim. The Seder Ayem of a Yid. It's the name of a Sefer. Okay. No, I'm saying it's a Sefer Kodom. Exactly. Yeah. I once looked it up. So it means so that brings over here that the chiyuv of Meida'ani of a Lekana Shama is right away when a person wakes up, like the chiyuv Brechsanene, which is Miyad Kshenene. But the Rebbe is not saying that the chiyuv Brechsanene is Brechsanene. It's al derech the chiyuv Brechsanene. It's not the same. It's not the same gather. I mean, it's not the same din of Brechsanene and Pashat Mikra Din. It was able to give a chiyuv that you have to, as soon as you can, wash negel wasser and sagen gleich Lekana Shama. I mean, you're not allowed to. But the Rebbe is saying al derech. It's not the same. That's been so the Rebbe is a marker for the etzim inyan that the chiyuv Brechsanene is right away. So the first terem shenene, that's also them sheyane b'lei bracha. So as meniden dida mekiven shein shayach lavarach al zor sham terem shechzira shenene u'mechuyev lavarach al kapana miyad kshener. K'mei me'abirchas atvilo da'af sheyesh lavarach al ever la'asiyasi k'akatik after lichazi ein edechas abracha la'achar zman k'mevarach miyad ba'al yasir. Come on, the efshel l'kaver bracha means even be'etzim the bracha has to be said before. So what given asvara that if you can't say it before, so anyway you're saying it after, so it doesn't make a difference when you say it. If you're already breathing, so if you say it after your first breath or after 3 of them, you have to say this bracha before you got down. The pearl you can't. So if you can't, it's coming this upshtup on the gamri. So if them steht shchonach nishes, but the tefillah tefillah's geir, and he can't make a bracha al tefillah's geir before he was table. He's still a guy. So when did he say the bracha? But he has to say the bracha. So he has to say it after he's table. All mitzvahs have to be over l'asiyasa. By regular mitzvah, if he did it la'achar gemara mitzvah, the mitzvah is already over ubatel min ha'olam by birchas mitzvahs. He's going to say the bracha v'chilas matzah after 8 matzah already. You can't. Once it's done, kenishin is zagen the bracha. So by tefillah's ger also, once he did his tefillah, t'shing agendik l'chorot t'shing getayvot. So man of community, if he says it close to the mitzvah or far, the poet says shchonach like that. He has to say the bracha the first chance that he has possible. There's a altmein that you make a bracha. So the bracha, even though other time could make before. But the Gabi, since by tefillah's ger, he cannot make the bracha before because he's still a guy. He has to make the bracha after he does the tefillah. But he does the bracha al tefillah's ger as close as he can to when he did the tefillah. I mean, it's not that once it was nitche, it's nitche legamri michiyu. So there is a here, even though you can't say the bracha before the anna, but it should be as close as possible to the Hazaras and Shama. Actually, Okay, mit Mamshel sein. But Sunday night is matish kennen okay, mit Mamshel yom shlishi. Yeah, this one I'm saying with again a bissel. These are geschmack in Yana. From here is geschmack in Yana, the Kentris. These are geschmack. Tim sing till Sif Yitches. Yitches better. We'll go through the Yana.